Week 6, Workplace Conflict. The book on Chapter 9 was very helpful, gave me some great ideas. The 5 keys to dealing with workplace conflict was my favorite thing. Short, concise, to the point. I really loved it. Mike Matt, the leadership advisor, has some wonderful ideas. This is like a full contact sport. You cannot or will not address conflict in a healthy, productive fashion. Like, you just got to make it happen and not fear it. And that's what I needed to read. I played sports my whole life. I'm pretty tall, so is my family. So to finally have a mental image of how to understand leadership and conflict together, that's just part of the game. That's just part of being administration. Made me at such ease. And I feel like I'm doing a better job as an administrator since I've been working on this. So I appreciate these readings. It's very helpful. It says every workplace is plagued with manipulative people. Have you felt this before? The answer is yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I have left some sites for manipulative people that were not understanding and showing empathy. I'm a special needs mom, and recently the hospital called me, and I got cussed out in front of the whole office for using the phone in case of emergency. That was a really hard day. I learned that the leader, the new boss, was just yelling, and it didn't make sense. It didn't feel very safe, and it caused a lot of problems. And so I got a new job with an empathetic boss, and that's never happened to me since, so that's good news. How did I handle it? Well, you know, the admin made such a big deal about it. I just smiled and nodded and calmly left, and I went down to HR, which handled it, and I went to the board. That new admin got a lot of training and better ideas, and I figured I had to be the bigger, better woman, and we sat down and we did restorative justice. I said, look, my son has a rare disease, and it's really hard. I do have to take these phone calls. Before you got here, the school gave me permission to do this, and here's the contract. I don't know if you know that because this is only the second day on your job. And she started crying. She said, I'm really sorry. I couldn't understand why you were on the phone, and it was just, I tend to act out. And I said, well, you know, maybe this is a lesson for both of us, that I need to show my new admin starting day 1 all the paperwork of my background, and you need to hopefully be a little more calm and solve things behind closed doors. So we're good friends now and make it work, but it was definitely a hard day because tone makes a big difference in your approach as a principal, and that's something I learned. How can principals create unnecessary conflicts? I think principals really need to listen more. I've been teaching 13 years. I'm a distinguished veteran teacher, but man, when admin come in and just try to tell us teachers what to do, but they don't have a credential in our field or the right research, it really causes problems. So to prevent conflict and open door policy I've seen with principals that really listen, not just delegate, but really listen and try to understand everything, and then come to an agreement helps. And for those who disagree, because that's going to happen, to have a restorative justice process and plan for staff and teachers and everybody. I like this tip number 1, and that's accepted behavior. Have clearly defined job descriptions so that people know what's expected of them, and a well-articulated chain of command to allow for effective communication will also help avoid conflicts. I read this sentence like 5 times, by the way. It was very good. I've worked at sites that have clearly defined my workload, and it went well. At another job where they kept adding items, and it became overwhelming, and I found out in insurance there's EOPS, and I went into it. I went to therapy, and they're like, wow, you're just trying to do so much, and having a special needs kid and ending up in the hospital, it's not possible. So I got catastrophic leave. Thankfully, my son got better. I found a better job that had better defined and more doable goals, and everything really improved. I didn't write it down, but recently I went back and I talked to that boss, and they're like, we really miss you, come back. And I said, I wish I could, but the job description was simple, but the job was actually overwhelming. And they said, yeah, we've had 2 or 3 people try to come in and do it, and they can't, so we're going to switch it up to a 2-person job. Which to me is kind of sad and exciting. It's sad because I really like that job, and I would have liked to stay, but it's exciting to know that they're fixing the problem to make it better. So at least the solution came out of it, right? Uncomfortable. I've worked at sites where it becomes uncomfortable for people who do not know or care to take the rules seriously. I've heard some people laugh at sexual harassment training, but it can make it really, gotta take it serious. It can be uncomfortable at work. I'm a young female. I've had a lot of problems with that. And I now know the law and how to follow it. One dad I had to put a restraining order against, and the police said, oh yeah, he does this to all female teachers. He's very harassing. So to have clearly defined acceptable behaviors in the handbooks, and both schools I recently worked at updated their handbooks, and procedures to work with HR when the rule is broken help things become less comfortable. Thank you.